I mean,
Brilliant.
and films.
It's amazing what you'll find on YouTube if you look.
Rogue Trooper?
You just have to know the right combination of letters in the
Rogue
search.
Trooper?
Yeah.
What's that?
Rogue Trooper?
Yeah.
You've never
You know
seen
what
Rogue Trooper?
You've never seen Rogue Trooper?
Oh, I thought you said Rogue Trooper. My apologies.
I
Yeah,
did. Rogue
Rogue
Trooper.
Trooper from 2000 AD. The Blue Man.
Oh, okay.
There's a couple of fan films of Strontium Dog up there too that are really impressive. Just
yeah, I've
amazing
not watched
stuff.
the Strontium Dog yet, but it's just
Just-
It's
amazing.
good.
Fantastic.
It's got Chucky in it, or whatever it is. The
Heartsease.
the hey bud, hey buddy. It's the thing
Oh.
that eats everyone. It's
Okay.
really quite horrible.
I want to see him animate the little alien character that has a bad heart.
Oh yeah, the one that late on
falling
in
over.
the series. Yeah,
He's falling
turned
over
up
from a
and-
heart attack. My poor heartsease
Yeah.
can't take it.
Yeah.
Come on in, folks. We see you out there. Let me change my Facebook around so that we can get everybody in here. Wonders of Facebook. There we go. Public. Come on in, everybody. Nice to see you here. It's Sunday morning. We've got some phenomenal artwork to take a look at today. Great stuff. Great stories. Classic. Absolute classic. Well, get it underway here real quick. Let's run the opening and get going. Chat is live, folks. We're live today, so we appreciate your input. And that's not it. And here we go. Good morning, good Sunday morning. It is the 15th. Ooh, the 15th already of September. Here on Sunday Funnies. Yeah. Year is just zipping by. I'm your host, Randy Zimmerman. I was too lazy to type my name in this morning. You can find my work over at arrowcomics.store. You can find a lot of great books over there. Go over there and take a look. arrowcomics.store, folks. So I've been doing comics for many decades. Been a big fan for even longer than that. And I absolutely love this art form. That's why we're here on Sunday Funnies, is to show off some of the best from the best. And that's definitely a prime example of what we've got to show you today. Also, and to talk about it, and to talk about how great it is, and talk amongst ourselves about who knows where the conversation will go. Joining me this morning is Mr. Glenn Fleming. Glenn, introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Glenn Fleming. I'm a writer, artist, and publisher. I wrote this, which is my book about my visit to see Jack Kirby. I created this character called Hatch that you can find on funmycomic.com. And I publish Comics Unlimited, which is my magazine, 100-page magazine about comics. We have interviews and all kinds of good stuff in there. So you can find all this stuff on Amazon and or from my comic.
Each issue of Comics Unlimited is almost 100 pages, if not more, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're working on 16 now. Issue 16 now.
Phenomenal comic history, folks.
Yeah,
Just great stuff.
Very pleased with it. Yeah, it's very good.
Also joining us this morning, Mr. Russ Leach. Russ, introduce yourself.
Morning, afternoon. My name is Russ Leach. I'm a comic book artist from the UK. We have a book out, The Shadow Kingdom, which is the retelling or the adaptation by Randy of the wonderful book by Robert E. Howard. It's considered the first sword and sorcery book. Go out there, get it. You can get it in hardback, black and white, colour, softback, digest size. You can go get it. It's everywhere. Go get it at Amazon or go to criticalblast.com. That's their own website. Pick it up there. We get a bit more from it for if you go there. Anyway, that book is out. It's around. It's available. Randy and I's baby. We love doing it, and now we're putting together the Atlantean, which is the further adventures of Brule and Cull from that book. It basically carries the story on, and we're about halfway through the inking and lettering, so it will be ready for a crowdfunder at the end of this month. If you want to find out more about that kind of stuff, you go, there's the ink pages. No AI involved. This is all inked work with a wash over the top. We're very pleased with it. It's coming. It's looking quite nice at the moment.
Oh, look at there. Yeah.
And rar.
That's a rar.
There's a rar.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in that, go to russleach.com and sign up for the email list right now.
There we are. Also joining us this morning, last but not least, Allison. Allison, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Allison. I'm the Alley Cat. I draw, write comics, and draw other things, and I'm a cat lover. And I'm introducing my new little kitten, Kaiju. I got him on Monday.
Cool.
So, yeah, and I do Indie Comic Network stuff on Fridays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. You get Arting with the Alley Cat. Then I got a Kickstarter starting soon, hopefully. So yeah, I'll be talking more about that at some other point.
Cool. Today, folks, we're going to be looking at the artwork of Mr. Brian Bolland in relationship to his Judge Dredd material. It's a great Titans reprint book. Oh, by the way, here's the Shadow Kingdom book. Look at how great that is. You can pick that up over at criticalblast.com, aerocomics.store. Has a few copies remaining, and there's a great hardback version available over at Barnes & Noble and Amazon, as well as a paperback.
If you're in the UK, it's only $36.99. That's a steal for a hardback book, I think.
$39.99 here in the States.
In the States, yeah. So, yeah, and of course, if you're using Amazon, you've already got Prime. You don't even have to pay for the postage. So it's a bargain. Absolute bargain.
Yeah, absolute bargain. The book we're looking at is a Titan reprint book. Look at that back cover. Yeah. Normally they have a whole list of books that they've also printed, but I think this is one of the first ones that they reprinted. Beautifully done volumes. If you ever catch them at shows, no matter what the subject matter is, it's a great book. Titan Books. They do phenomenal reprints. I can't recommend them highly enough. And every one of them that they've done that I've ever seen has been a very solid gem. Just great stuff. This is Walter, by the way. Not very many people here in the States might know who Walter is, but Walter was Dredd's house servant for a little while. Talk like Elmer Fudd.
Walter, what have you, Judge Dredd?
And again, this book is rare. Ooh, this book is a little tattered too. Look at that. Whoops. I've had this for a while, so it's been long enough for the binding glue to...
I think Walter had a major part in the droid uprising.
Did he?
And the guy who was in charge, the android that was in charge of that was called Call Me Kenneth.
Okay.
That was his name. Call Me Kenneth.
Nowadays, you can catch Judge Dredd on Amazon and the Judge Dredd case files. There are American as well as English versions of this out there. They all have the same numbering, the same amount of stories in it. Just about every Judge Dredd story is reprinted in the case files except for 2. And that ran into a little bit of copyright snag because they were getting a little too close to some fast food mascots and they upset the big golden arches. So they sent them a cease and desist.
There was a bit of that going on in 2000 AD. Bit of a British sense of humor and a bit of subversion going on.
Well, if they wanted to test it, it would have fallen under satire and parody over here, exactly. But I don't think they wanted to press it. So
it didn't
seem
been
to matter over here
since
then. Yeah,
that's expensive though. So
yeah,
the snobby art and publishing industry just ignored comics at the time, and so it got away with pretty much saying whatever it wanted to say.
Kids literature, kiddie stuff.
See that the second panel. Judge Dredd must be the only character that's recognisable by his kneecaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably true.
Sorry, Randy, go on.
No, Postmaster Dan's in the house. Says hello to Russ. Russ says hello back. Comic book black belt right there.
Hey,
Hope you're doing well, Postmaster Dan.
Kaiju, why are you chewing on the windowsill?
Our
Because
numbers
that's what
are nice
counts,
this
dude.
morning. Make sure you leave a like, folks. If you're whatever platform you're on, if you can subscribe to it, please do it. Please subscribe. Please hit that bell for notification. If you're over on YouTube, and if you enjoy this program, please tell a friend. We could use all of the eyes on this that we can. Judge Dredd, Brian Bolland. Some of his first work or his earliest work was in 2000 AD.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Started
I thought that was one of the places you got to start.
started with what is it? Tharg's shock stories.
Yeah,
Future
a lot-
Shock.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the artists sort of went through that
Yeah.
process, didn't they?
I think
Yeah.
the Future Shocks was the testing
Future Shock.
ground.
Yeah.
They got in via that route.
Hmm.
Quite a lot of artists did. I don't know if Brian Bolland started that way.
I'm pretty sure
If
he
you
did.
on the so you've got the Judge Dredd there, and it actually doesn't start early on for him. It starts with the Judge Death story, but that's actually quite a way through. He'd already done an awful lot since then.
Yeah, he did, and this
Yeah.
issue jumps around a little bit and
Yeah, it
goes
does.
back to one of his
You
earlier
actually look-
stories.
Yeah, the early story
So-
with the Olympic Games on the moon.
Yeah, Lunar
That's
Olympics.
one of his earliest stories. The first Lunar Olympics. Yeah. And you can see the way that the judges' helmets have changed,
Everything
and the way that
evolved.
his style, it's still obviously him.
Mhm. But Judge Death, ultra cool,
Ultra cool. Yeah.
crazy big character when he was first introduced.
Yeah, they had to do the follow-up story. They just had to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That face. Blah.
That's great.
It's crazy good stuff. Look at that. If you haven't seen this work, you're really missing out. The early Judge Dredd stories are amazing. You can catch those case files, like I said, over on Amazon. They've got, I think, 25 of them out. And each, just about every one of them is over 500 pages thick. So there's an incredible amount of great Judge Dredd material out there. Completely different. Well, not completely, but very different from both of the movies. Kind of a combination of the two. We were talking about that on Friday.
Mm.
Very satirical, very much a political statement. A lot of fun. You were saying, Allison?
Oh no, I was clearing my throat. Sorry.
Oh, no problem.
That panel on the top right there with the three judges on the bikes, showing it on the video camera here doesn't do it justice. It's an absolutely amazing panel.
Yeah, all sorts of beautiful white
Yeah.
lines going through there.
Just superb. You
Amazing
take a look at it. It's amazing. Yeah, really, really good.
There's a lot of incredible artwork in here. I don't think there's a single bad panel.
No,
in
it's
this-
not one
in this
dodgy
book.
panel. No.
Yeah.
No, that's
That's-
his stuff's
yeah.
so amazing.
Makes you wonder if Bolland is in fact capable of doing a dodgy panel. I don't think he is.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think he's one of those people who's just I'm just that good.
Yeah, he is just that good. Yeah.
Sometime in the near future, we'll go through his Camelot 3000 material
Oh,
here.
I'd be all for that.
That had some incredibly phenomenal covers to it that he did as well. These stories are in 5-page increments because 2000 AD is weekly. Over there, everything was
really
serialized.
He really knew how to spot the blacks,
Yes,
Yeah.
he does.
and he wasn't afraid of a solid.
No,
How great is
The-
that?
The panel right, the larger panel, bottom left of the same page. That one, that's amazing. I love the way they did that. They have the black for shattering out death, and then all the judgments just opening up on them.
That'd be a great T-shirt, wouldn't it? If you just got rid of that word balloon and the judges firing, and just have that guy, image of that guy, put the logo where the word balloon is. It'd be a great T-shirt. That.
Again, I think Bolland was a bit of a traditionalist. I think he was drawing on larger paper, larger sheets.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me.
He was. I can verify that. I've seen some of this artwork.
Yeah. Makes the difference.
Yeah.
It does make a difference.
No, he probably did that over there. I've seen a page from 2000 or Camelot 3000, and it was regular comic book size.
Well, that would have been, yes. I'm talking about the 2000 AD stuff.
Yeah. Well, you're working with different dimensions anyway.
What size was he working at?
I don't know. It could well have been A2 or a portion of it.
It was up there, yeah. I don't know exactly the size, but I have seen some pages, and they are a lot bigger. Obviously, a lot bigger than this. I wouldn't
about
say
1.5.
Up. Yeah, about
1.5.
Not 2 up. No, I'd say about 1.5.
Yeah.
Okay. So probably an A4.
No, that would be A2. A3. Roughly A3 is around the size of a standard board that you'd use on a 170 by 210 comic, standard American format. But these were bigger formats, so straight away you needed a bigger sheet of paper, whatever, or a bigger sheet of board. And I think it was more than 1.5. I think it was slightly bigger than that. But I mean that's how come you can see. I mean, there's so much detail involved, so much. Some of the strokes. Look at his hands there.
Yeah.
That's it's going to be difficult to get on an A3 sheet, isn't it?
This is all done by hand, by the way. This is all cross-hatching work here, even though it looks like it could be mechanically done. It wasn't. This was all done by hand. All the little line work here is all the line work here. It's all by hand. Hand and ruler.
Guy's just an amazing artist.
Incredibly, yeah. I'm sure he spent a lot of time on these pages to make sure they were right. Look at that.
I think one of the reasons you can tell how good these UK artists are and were is the fact that they produce full artwork. There's none of that penciling, inking by somebody else in the British area, as far as I know.
None of that assembly line working. Yeah. Probably working off of a full script.
Isn't that more of a European thing anyway, where it's like the creator generally does all the pencils and inkings just in general?
Yeah, they produce the full artwork. Yeah. And
then coloring.
And actually, back during this period, they owned partial rights to the work too. A lot larger percentage than what American artists have ever owned, except for on their own independent work. The rights over there were 50-50 at the time, if I'm not mistaken, with the publishing house.
It's similar to a newspaper strip.
Yeah. Very different from American corporate comics. In fact, they did adapt that. IPC ended up changing their rights rules, and you can see it in the severe drop in quality in 2000 AD in the late 80s, early 90s, right?
I don't know. I'd left it behind by then. So
okay.
I picked up. I did a year's subscription around 2010-ish, and it wasn't as good.
I stopped getting 2000 AD when I don't know the guy's name. I don't want to malign him anyway. But he started doing Rogue Trooper, and Dave Gibbons was writing it, and it was full color. It was awful.
Oh, right.
That was around the time when I sent my samples in and didn't even get a reply.
Yeah, they did that Slain stuff with what's his face?
Wasn't Bisley?
Bisley, yeah.
Yeah.
They did that, and once Bisley had done that, things started to change. And I mean, Disley did ABC Warriors as well in an ink style, and it's great. It's beautiful art. I don't think it matched the ABC Warriors, but the artwork was obviously gorgeous. But it kind of changed the approach to the art, I think, and a lot more. They did a lot more painted stuff.
Yeah.
And it just, for me, I like the color spread on the inside. You know, they did the center spread, didn't they? With the top story had color in it, so you might get an ABC Warriors spread or a Judge Dredd spread or something. But the rest of it was black and white, and I loved that. I thought that was great, and I didn't really like to see that change personally. So.
There's a lot to be said for the 2000s during that period, because they were printed on newsprint as well, and they had a very underground comic feel to them.
Yeah.
That very alternative comic, at least to me.
Yeah, it had that alternative feel, but at the same time, just fantastic production values.
Oh yeah.
I think one of the main problems with the demise of certainly 2000 AD, in my opinion, would be the fact that all the best people went over to America.
Yeah, it didn't help.
Yeah, that too. Yep.
No, that definitely did not help.
Karen Berger would come over to Britain once every 6 months and take a half a dozen people.
Burger.
It's in the 2000 AD documentary. Mills' interview completely blames the drop in quality.
Yeah.
On Vertigo. Yeah. He said something along the lines of she thought she'd come over here twice a year and go shopping. That's what he said.
Yeah, and go back home with Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons and everybody else.
Yeah.
Just gonna borrow these creators from you for a little bit. No worries. Just gonna. I'll be right back.
It's no borrowing. It's like sellotape. You can't borrow sellotape, can you?
Yeah.
I'm just going to borrow your sellotape. No, you're not. You're going to take some, and you're going to give me a rollback that has less on it. That's what's going to happen here.
Yep, that's exactly what's going to happen.
Second story here, we get a little bit more gray zipatone shades in here.
Yeah, he did do that well.
Yeah.
There's the story later on in this where he's where they're like androids instead of waxworks, and there's a whole bunch of old horror in there. I think it's the tonal work in that is amazing.
Do you know the only American inker that I could imagine working on this to get this lovely, beautiful thin line would be Joe Sinnott.
Joe Sinnott, yeah, because only Joe Sinnott could get a line like this.
Because you know, our friend Vinny had lost most of the detail, and I think that Frank Giacoi's line would have been too thick.
Yeah, this wouldn't have looked. I mean, this is why Bolland does his own stuff.
Yeah. I just imagine Vinny on this.
Yeah, it can't be ruined, can it? Because Bolland's doing it.
Yeah.
So, and he knows. I mean, again, you know, you look at this and you think, oh, look at all the detail again. Economy of line. His ability to know when not to use lines is stunning.
Yeah.
Here for the floor, for example.
Yeah.
Just drops out the bottom panel border here.
He's quite happy to like leave white space or only go so far with his rendering, and it just you know. If you could see, you know, because obviously we're on webcam, if you could see that skeleton there, you'd see more of what I'm talking about, because it's just brilliant.
Detail here. Yeah.
Well, there is and there isn't. It just he just knows where to put it. You know.
Yeah, a lot of beautiful line work, shade work here, done by hand. Yeah. Just phenomenal. And even on the judges' outfits.
Yeah. Just enough.
Fantastic.
And then he'll go to solid black. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
and of course his characterization as well. Look at the woman, the
Judge
gypsy
Anderson.
woman or whatever it is. No,
No?
the woman who's
Oh,
prodding
yeah.
her face. Yeah, I mean that just brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
That face you're talking about, to me, has got kind of an Ian Gibson look to it as well,
It does. Yeah.
which isn't too bad, is it?
No,
You know what I mean?
look at that. Look at those two panels up the top of it where she's kicking that guy out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely
great.
brilliant.
That's what I love panel. I love it when they do panels like that.
Look at that
Especially when
last. Sorry. Look at that last panel where he's peeping around the door. He's coming in with the gun. Look at that.
So good. And her eyes there. Let's just put a little inset and put her eyes in it. Just brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful lighting.
One of these days, they're going to put this to film. This story.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the rest.
Hopefully, they won't massacre it.
They will. So keep it in a comic.
Yeah.
I don't see film as an end goal for the things that I read in comics.
Yeah.
In fact, I see it as a step backward. It might be a step backward to get it to a bigger audience, but in my view, it's a step backwards because you don't get the same visceral interaction that you do with a comic. When you're reading a good comic book story, it's so much more engrossing than watching a film, in my view. But,
yeah.
And you can also pause when you want, can't you? And just spend as much time as you want looking at the panel or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't go, oh, that was great. Oh, shot there. Well, I know you can rewind at home, but you know what I mean. It's just,
It's not the same.
It's not the same. No,
You can go frame by frame and things, but it's not the same.
it's not the same. No.
The thing I always point out about the comic book against the film is that everything's always in focus in a comic book.
Yeah,
The whole panel's always in focus.
Yeah.
You can't
it's
really
not
hide
real. It's impressionism.
Yep.
That's what makes it fun.
And in order to contain Judge Death, Anderson figures out that he can't escape if she's enveloped in Boing, which is a plastic spray. So they envelop her in Boing, make a little coffin, put her in suspended animation, and memorialize her.
Look at that. Judge Anderson, a monster dwells within. What a great epithet.
Yeah.
That's a great shot, that.
If there's one thing about this that I didn't like, or the only thing I didn't like, is that silly, I think it's silly use of lots of S's, so it sounds like a snake. Useless. You know, I don't like that. That was a bit juvenile to me.
Again, you define me. It is useless. Yeah.
Think again.
And create
Bang,
another
bang, bang.
body. Yeah.
Jonesy, don't put him in. Don't let him go down to that place.
Down in the hold. Don't let him find it.
That's the one. Yeah, down in the hole. I can't think of the name.
Cat got away with it.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
And the cool thing I thought about this is that they had introduced Boing in a separate story.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of a side thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it effectively was it Wagner and did Mills write this as well? He wrote on Judge Dredd, didn't he?
Yeah, I think Mills.
Yeah.
No, John Howard.
It's mostly Wagner.
John Howard is
John Howard.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Okay.
Mills
Yeah.
was writing a lot of stuff at this point. He was probably
Yeah,
watching over.
But the whole thing about Judge Dredd is as you go from week to week, you got different stories. It creates this world,
It
Yeah.
does.
and
Yeah.
things like Boeing are just added into it.
And
So you
also
can dip back in and bring it out. You know,
the one of the best things for me was the fact that the different artists on it brought a different type of Dredd, but it was always him.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
some of the helmet might be a bit different or whatever, just a
Yeah.
tiny bit with the
No,
style. You
brilliant
know,
stuff. Yeah.
That, and it was the best of the best that was working
Yes.
on that strip too.
that's right. Yeah.
Very top notch artists there. Every Dredd story is very, the best. Let every hair here, every strand. Maybe not everyone, but enough for you to see.
Yeah.
Her hair.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said as well, because people complain about themes on books.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you don't get the same theme on a book for a long time. It's like, I can appreciate that and understand that, and I'd like to see teams. But if it's written well, you can get away with swapping teams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And things like Judge Dredd are a testament to that approach, because they would have different artists, sometimes different writers, but they were all true to the Dredd. You know, they were all true to the character.
Yeah.
And the character that was Mega City 1 as well. And the characters that dwelled within it that had been written by previous writers. And because of that, you could have different teams and it didn't matter. Dredd was still Dredd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pizza 33 says hello. Hello, Pizza.
Hey, Pizza.
Thanks for joining us.
Pizza.
I think Russ
More
is
Bolland.
free.
Go ahead.
Just a thought. Burgers, now this. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's about dinner time over there.
No, I've had my lunch.
Yeah. Afternoon now.
I've got lamb for dinner. This is the Lunar Olympics. Yeah.
This
Great
was
face,
done
isn't it?
before the Judge Dredd or the Judge Death story.
Oh yeah, this is early on. Yeah.
Get all that detail.
But you can actually see here his development, because this isn't as
It's less
beautiful
polished.
as Judge Dredd, as Judge Death. No, it's not quite as polished, but you can see where it's coming from. There's a perfect example of a sort of some slightly heavier line weights. We go to the next page. I think
This is-
on the next page.
This is from Prague number 50,
Mm-hmm.
and the Judge Death story was Prague's 149 through 151.
There you go. That's 2 years.
It's 2
later.
years. Yep.
Yeah.
2 years later.
And he did quite a lot in that time. So he didn't do it all, obviously, but he did quite a lot.
And a 3 from the Russian judge.
Notice the helmet is slightly rounder.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. He's just smashed his face.
This is the catch nets. Hard.
Because at the time there would have been a lot of hoo-ha about Russians and West and East Germans using performance-enhancing drugs, and I think some of this there's some bits and pieces in this about having cybernetic attachments, and whether that's fair or not, and that was part of the story. So they were always in 2000 AD. They were always kind of like mirroring the world, as it were.
Yeah, I just wonder. Be interesting to, because I don't know. It'd be interesting to know when this exactly the date was in publishing, because don't forget in 1980 when I think this stuff was around, that was the Moscow Olympics.
Yeah, Yeah,
so
exactly.
so they might have been taking the piss out of that. I don't know.
Without doubt.
This was done for issue number 50, which was 1978.
Oh wow!
Right.
Well, in between the
In between the two
Montreal
Olympics, yeah.
and Moscow.
Yeah, in Moscow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
There's definitely poking fun at it all.
yeah, because there was a couple of, I seem to remember back in the Montreal one, there was a couple of Russians disqualified for the fencing. They had that.
Yeah.
They had that sensor, didn't they? That did that. They pressed the button in the handle, and it recorded a hit when they didn't hit. And then in 1980, the US didn't go, did they?
No, that's right.
They didn't compete.
We boycotted that one, and
I think that was
threw their toys out the pram and decided not to go.
Yeah, Mary Decker and all that.
So this is awful lettering, by the way.
Yeah.
Pretty haphazard.
I never noticed how much I didn't like the lettering in this. I mean, again, look at the lettering in Judge Death compared to the lettering in this.
Tony Jacob.
Not so much the actual letters, but I'm talking about the bubbles and everything. Just
little extra space here.
If you look at this compared to the Judge Death story, just a quick flick, just how much better it is.
Yeah, those Bllands are far better.
This
The lettering is better.
This first one's by Tom Frame. You can recognize that. Is it Tom Frame?
Yep, you're right. Tom Frame.
That is but much superior. The whole thing is superior.
Yeah.
Why did they put that? Oh, I thought that page there was the next page.
No.
I was wondering how they put the Olympics in there.
I was going back to look at the Tom Frame letter.
Yeah.
Just the great comparison between the art and the lettering as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you can see that Bolland's on his way.
Yeah.
Lovely shot there.
This is 2 years younger in 2000 AD too. So
yeah.
They grow over time.
Zilch. What's happening?
They've got Russian judges, you see.
Just incredible.
When did what's it called? You just mentioned it. But that series that Bolland did,
Camelot 3000.
Camelot 3000.
That one, did that come out after this or before?
Oh yeah,
after.
Oh yeah.
It was like the 90s. Camelot 3000.
Let me dig it up here. I'm looking for the date on that. Nope, not there. Camelot 3000 was 1985.
Oh God, I didn't realize it was that early. Wow.
82 to 85. Yeah.
He was stolen. Yeah.
I was going to say this was published. This was published in 1978.
Yeah.
Yeah. This story was
because that Dredd looking at you there, pointing the gun at you there. It reminded me so much of the style in Camelot.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just wondering whether it was produced at the same time, but clearly it wasn't. It was a few years later, wasn't it, Camelot?
Yeah, and Death was 1980. So
right.
It was 2 years. That story was 2 years before Camelot 3000. But Camelot 3000, he was under hard deadline there. Some of that gets a little rushed, especially compared to this work. Not that it's bad.
No.
It's just, you can tell, the time he spent on this is just incredible. So this feathering isn't easy with a brush. It's beautifully done. Line work here. Even the stipple work here is really phenomenal work.
And not drawn for color.
No, not at all.
Look at that.
So I'd say, look at that guy's face there up at the top right.
Yeah.
You can see he's using slightly thicker lines on the cross hatching.
Yeah.
And you can see where he's moved on. I mean, it's still a fantastic face, beautiful.
It looks a bit like Arthur Askey, doesn't it?
It does a bit, doesn't he?
This guy's got syrup on. It looks like, doesn't it?
Heck bombs. It's got to work. Tony Jacob again littering on this. Look at that ARG.
Yeah, that'd have been a good bigger panel, wouldn't it?
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, not easy to do.
No, that's amazing. The way they got the lighting and everything with that. It's so good.
Right. Yeah.
He's even breaking the border with a foot.
Yeah.
He is. More great work here. Look at that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Oof, look at that. His head's exploded. Wow.
I think that guy had a bad day.
Yeah.
Oh, Russ.
Mm.
Look at that panel there where he's going, die dog, arg. Look at the guy at the bottom. That's Dan Dare, isn't it?
It is a bit,
Look
yeah.
at that helmet. That helmet's Dan Dare.
But this helmet?
No, the one above in the other panel.
Oh, here?
No. In the
Over
middle.
here.
In the middle.
That
In the middle.
In the middle.
No, right in the center of the page. That one. That's
Okay.
Dan Dare. That helmet is Dan Dare.
Huh.
So we've got Arthur Askey and Dan Dare in this issue.
Buzzy
Oh,
bee,
playmates.
buzzy bee.
Just wait until the story that's coming up. That's crazy. The bank robbers. Great stuff. Floating head. A little bit of I always associated the little square like that back with early Perez. He used to do that a lot.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
No longer have judges on the games, huh? They have umpires or umpires. Yeah. Was a classic panel that was reprinted in I think Fantastic Films magazine. Makes him eat that microphone.
Him getting the microphone shoved into his mouth is great.
Yeah. Part of the fun of 2000 AD, they never took themselves very seriously. It says, keep calm, throw factor overload, keep calm. Yeah.
I'll tell you something else that sort of makes it's not really funny, but it makes me smile. The way that when people die, look at those two panels where they're getting shot. When people die, they really die in this strip, don't they? They don't just get shot and they fall over. There's no John Wayne on this lot.
They get disintegrated.
You get killed.
Shove that mic in his mouth.
Yeah.
War is hell.
Exactly.
That look, see, there you go. It's subversive. It's like war is pointless. War is evil. War is hell. This is definitely an anti-war book.
Yeah.
When you consider that, he's a fascist by all by all the definitions. He's fascist, and yet there he is. War is evil. War is hell. It's like it's subversive.
Well, there's an ongoing theme with Pat Mills' characters of an anti-hero, isn't there? Because we discussed Charlie Bourne the other day, and he's an anti-hero, really.
Yep.
Brilliant.
On to the next.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, God, that is beautiful. That is so good.
Wow, look at that. Wow.
Just damn.
Different texture for the pipes as well. Look at they're like rubber pipes. Yeah.
Oh, brushwork there. Little brush.
Yeah. Fabulous.
Again, John Howard, Brian Bolland, Tom Frame.
Yeah, Lefton's back on track again.
Mm.
The what?
The
lettering's
Lefton's
better, yeah.
back on track again.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Clouds. Put his face in his breakfast.
Yeah.
Plastic flakes.
That's
Look
great.
at that.
Oh, that's great.
The use of great zip screen use here.
Yeah, that is good. It definitely pulls it to the foreground.
Yeah. It's a cool part of Judge Dredd's helmet that they could grab it and bring it down, use it as a respirator.
Yeah.
There's a lot of this just ingenious stuff in the strip. Just crazy. Great details.
Hmm.
The whole comic actually is like that.
Even the crash on the left page, second panel.
Yeah.
That just looks great there. Or explosion.
Postmaster Dan.
It is.
Is that collected from the dailies? No, this is from the weekly 2000
No,
AD progs.
He said he's just corrected himself. He meant
Okay.
the
I have some of
series.
the newspaper editions. Yeah, yeah. Bolland, I don't think ever did a story for the newspaper strip. It was always other folks.
Ron Smith, wasn't it?
Ron
Smith, Ian Gibson did some. It was just like the comic. Comic though. It always swapped out from story to story. There's some Cam Kennedy Judge Dredd daily strips too, I believe. Meant to say series, not daily. Yeah, yep. Yeah, that's what this is. I think all of these stories we're looking at are mixed in on either the first one or the first two casebook files. So last time I looked, they were still available over at Amazon. Some of them might be out of print. The early ones probably with the better stuff in it. But last time I looked, there was over 25 volumes of case files available. All of them like 500 pages thick. So there's a lot of material. Look at that. It's just amazing.
Scrang. It's coming off. Scrang. That judge there with a cowboy on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeehaw!
Is that Mega City, Texas?
Yeah, probably something like that.
Apparently so.
So one was along the East Coast, two was along the West Coast. And then you had the Texas border, and then Russia and Japan, and Ireland. Right? Ireland had a set of judges at one
didn't
point.
know that.
Thought they did. Been a little while since I've read all of this material. I need to sit down and reread it. It's coming off. Wonder if they had a talk here about whether there were one or two T's in Scott free.
Look, he's made a mistake there.
We'd have probably spelt it over here with two T's.
Yeah. As a name, we would spell it with two T's, but if you were referring to a Scottish person, you would spell it with one.
Well, they might have had it. There's plenty of space over here.
Yeah.
For that other T. So
I think something's gone wrong there.
Yeah, they might have made an editorial decision.
Yeah. Maybe it fell off.
Yeah. It's like you keep shoving U's in some places, Calor, and a few other places.
I think that's from the French. We're in the middle with that one. Oh, it's just laziness on the Americans.
That's right. That's exactly what it is.
Just total idleness.
Well, we
Like,
don't.
like saying, "Can I ask you a question?"
Yeah, we don't make any excuses for our laziness over here. It just most of the stuff comes out phonetically, and it's whoever spells it first. So
Yeah,
don't ask me how knife ended up with a K in front of it. It's just
Because
the
it
way
used to be pronounced knife.
knife.
Yep. It was originally pronounced knife.
Oh, now I know.
And for other weird crap I learned when I was in the 5th grade. So
It was 84 when I found my copies. Yeah. Isn't it Scott-ish? Scott-tish.
yeah.
Yeah.
Stop.
T bias is real. Postmaster Dan says word.
If you want to wind up a jock, a Scottish person, call them what is it? Say to them, "Are you Scotch?" And they'll go bananas because Scotch is whiskey, and they're Scots.
Scots.
Yeah. So if you call him Scotch, he won't like it.
Mm-hmm. Michael Hart's in the house. Hi, Michael. Hope you're doing well. I collected lots of British weekly comics when I was young. Yeah. Kniff. The E is silent. Okay. Yeah, I'd have never known about Judge Dredd if it wasn't for an article in Fantastic Films magazine. That was Star Wars crazy at the time. That's picking up everything back between New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. Picking up anything in a magazine that had to do with Star Trek. And the Fantastic Films out there with Disney's Black Hole on the cover. I mean, the movie, not his action. Anyway. And it had a 2000 AD article in it and talked about how great it was. And I was working at a bookstore at the time and had a guy come in a couple of weeks after that article that brought a grocery bag full of 2000 ADs and asked me if I wanted them. So I think I paid $50 for a couple hundred progs.
Wow.
It's phenomenal. Great stuff. And an oxygen board. And we have a Walter the Wobot story, Friend of Dwed.
That lettering at the top of that Walter the Robot's from the 70s, isn't it? Letter set.
yeah,
Here,
probably.
yeah.
It definitely looks good.
It does. Yeah, it does. Neon font. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's using the tint again in that center panel now. So he must have got. No one knows it's a different. No, I'll forget. I won't say it.
The zip here.
Yeah.
Little strip, and inside that's a graduated tone, zipper tone they used for inside of his head here.
Get off that. Stupid cat.
Yeah. Past Master Dan says, wish you still had those. Michael Hart. Yeah. The only thing I kept from that group was the entire run of the English Star Lords because I figured I'd never see it reprinted. But the rest of them I ended up selling to a 2000 AD collector. He was really big on it, and I needed the money at the time.
Walter the Wobot.
Walter, the widow teddy bear.
And look at that! Look at that third panel there on the left. It's Don Martin.
Don Martin, yeah.
There he is. Look at that! Brilliant.
That's so good.
Have we got a flubber dap? Oh, quikey! Brilliant.
Friend of Dwed.
Next the very end.
Look at that. Definitely Don Martin again. Look at the end of it.
Nice. Yeah. So hard to archive. Now we get to a little bit of fun.
Look at that. Oh,
This is a raid.
Look at that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Look at the way he's just blasting him with that shotgun.
Yeah.
So good.
Bag.
Boom. Look at that. Fantastic.
Oh, so good.
Look at that. Look at the bottom there. It says, "We're trapped here." That's another fine mess you've got us into. Never fear, Oliver. Those Keystone Cops can never touch us. See the guy, Oliver Hardy blasting that guy, the guy in the middle.
Yeah.
That's Brian Bolland with the mustache.
Is it?
Yeah.
Funny. He might have had a mustache at that point. Never know. This is on mine. The staples are discoloring the spine. Newsprint. Staples are rusting. Yeah.
That's what they for. It makes
That's
it real.
Wasn't meant to be kept forever.
Pulp.
Yep. It was disposable.
Yep.
Hmm.
Part of the fun. Get a little Marx Brothers action here.
Look at that. Great.
Hope he had a blast doing this. Didn't have a hard time trying to keep the faces. It looks like he had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Mm.
Look at that. I thought I recognized those faces. Old 20th century comedians. I don't understand.
Honk, honk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant.
So there's some capes going. These are early because he's got a cape.
Yeah. Look what Groucho's saying there at the end. We can afford a night at the opera after this.
Let's see if I can figure out when this was done. I think it was pretty early on.
It's got to be an early one, yeah, or earlier one. I'd say it's beyond 50. Up near the top end of, closer to 100.
The Walter the Wobot material was done in 78, 79.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
All right. It's got to be back up here. Looking on the Wikipedia page. He started out doing Dan Dare, Green World Part 2 with Gary Finley Day and Dave Gibbons, number 35,
Okay.
2000 AD.
Mm.
Then Mega City 5000 with Prague 41 was his first full art. And John Howard was writing all of those. Land Race, Lunar Olympics, Luna One War, Face Change Crimes. That's where this
So
is
was
from.
that
This
was
is
that
Prague.
Lunar Olympics? That Lunar Olympics was his first Judge Dredd.
Nah, he had done Mega City 5000 Part 2 in number 41.
Right, okay.
The Lunar Olympics comes right after land. There's a land race, one listed as land race in number
Right.
47. Lunar Olympics was number 50, 51, and 52.
So that was his third attempt at it.
I mean, 50 and 51. Yeah, the Face Change Crimes that we're looking at right now is number 52.
Oh, right, okay. That's straight after. But you can see the improvement immediately.
That's
Can't you?
done-
Yeah, you
done
can,
after. Yeah.
I mean, you look at this. That's why I thought it was further on. You look at this compared to the Lunar Olympics, and straight away you're seeing an improvement. I mean, the Lunar Olympics was awesome. I mean, it was beautiful. But I don't know how you get better than that. But he did.
Well, they might have hung on to the Lunar Olympics story for a few months because they saved it for number 50.
Yeah, but this is way beyond number 50. That's
Well,
what I'm saying. This is a
Well,
leap. This is a step forward from the Lunar Olympics.
yeah, he might have
And the
done
Lunar
this.
Olympics was good. So
He might have done this a month or two later.
whatever,
Or
you can
even
see improvement
farther than that.
immediately.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, it looks like he had a lot of fun.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he enjoyed himself.
Hong Kong.
Got the lighting on that guy's face down there.
Yeah.
Bottom on the left page. Yeah.
It's like Tor Johnson.
He's got a big bottom lip.
Mm-hmm.
That's good on the right as well with that when he's putting that helmet on.
Yeah, when he's
all
putting the
stipple.
face changing device. Yeah, brilliant.
It's all stipple work here. Yeah, beautifully done. Must reminds me of Miracle Man there.
Yeah.
Marvel Man.
Tracy.
Yeah.
That guy looks like that Jimmy guy in Emmerdale, Russ.
Emmerdale, don't watch that. He's got a
seen
big
it.
nose.
Yeah, he looks like that. Jimmy King, I think he's called.
He's a famous actor, though. Yeah. I've seen that
Now,
before.
this is such an impressive piece.
That story?
Oh god,
Yes,
Yeah.
jumps out. I mean, look at what he's done with the tone down there on the mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Just so good.
that whole page is amazing, and your eyes fall right onto that girl. And then it's like, then you move down, you see that smile.
Was this done prior to Judge Death?
I don't know. It depends on what the name of it is.
Because you can see like the helmets have changed shape, and it you know if this was done prior to Judge Death, then whoever wrote Judge Death would have thought, right, well, I know who's going to do Judge Death, because this was a brilliant setup piece artistically.
John Howard. Let me check before that.
I may be talking tripe.
Crime and Punishment. This might be number 86. No,
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know what the name of this is.
Word.
A lot of these weren't named.
Will it tell you at the end? Sometimes they do that.
Well, who's on the credit card? Can't we figure that out from there?
Next is the Forever Crimes. All right. Well, that one's named at least. Let's look and see what for that one.
The card, they have is that the creators up in the top?
Punks.
Yeah.
The Forever Crimes was number 120, 1970.
Right. Yeah. So these are all previous to Judge Death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can see his style developing and just why he was perfect for the Judge Death story rather than any of the other judge artists.
Great mood setting.
Yeah.
With the gray tones lining up. Just phenomenal. That's great.
Brilliant.
That mouth at the bottom there looks like that Wishmaster guy's mouth. You know, that the guy who plays the devil in those films.
Yeah, a little. Yeah.
His mouth looks like that
I think probably here he was looking at Christopher Lee films.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was
yeah.
Wishmaster, because that was only 10 years ago. But I'm just saying, it looks like him.
Yeah, it does a bit. Yeah.
Said what attracted me to these in the first place was their ability to be irreverent, and blue. This is Lothar. Lothar was in Rocketeer. Okay. An actor in makeup. Yeah.
I remember buying all of these progs.
Yeah.
And sitting down as a kid, just thumbing through them, thinking, wow. Those eyes, brilliant.
Yeah.
and then you see that the helm, the Judge Dredd's helmet has squared off somewhat. Now things have moved on. He's got the costume just right, the look just right. It's often what you'd get is in silhouette. You'd get almost skinny legs.
Yeah.
And it's amazing that but Bolland could draw these kind of realistic people, and then you'd have Mike McMahon drawing these really desperately skinny legs.
Yeah, like Dean Gibson cartoon.
Yeah, and yet they were all Dredd. They were all right.
This is what I was saying earlier on about how so many different artists with so many different styles, but they all had put their mark on it, and it was all good. You never thought, I don't like this guy, I want the next guy back or whatever. There was always, you always knock you out of your chair, didn't it? All this stuff.
Yeah.
Then they got Ron Smith. Holy crap!
Do you not like Ron Smith's work?
Oh no! What a great inker! Just incredible stuff.
I like Ron Smith, but I have to say, Bolland, for me, Bolland is king. It's
Well, everybody's got their own individual look. That's what's so hot about this.
Yeah, I like Cam Kennedy's work, but I like his work generally. I like the grittiness and looseness of Cam Kennedy's work. Because this is beautiful work by Bolland. It always is, but it's so precise and
it's very tight, isn't it?
It's fantastic. Yeah, this is what I was saying about. I only think that Joe Sinnott could ink this.
Yeah. It's so tight. It's so brilliant. Yeah.
It's fabulous, isn't it?
Looking at artwork by Brian Bolland is the perfect example of why you should never compare yourself to other artists.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Yeah, forget it.
First off, he's just so brilliant. But secondly, it's like that's him. I've seen people copy Bolland's style, and they've copied it pretty well in some places. But I just don't see the point.
No,
Bolland did it. Bolland did it better than anybody else could do Bolland.
Of course.
So why try?
But
just to be you.
Yeah, we all go through that stage, don't we?
Yeah.
But then as we're all artists here, and we all know that eventually your own style's going to come through anyway.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, yeah, you learn by copying people, and then your own style.
I think what every artist could take out of this is the body language, the way that all the characterization and the storytelling, that's what's important. So even though he's a fantastic tight artist, there's still this knowing when to stop and also knowing how to produce story and how to produce acting from the characters.
Well, this is really also one of those rare occasions where everything is clicking.
Yeah,
the writing is top notch, the artwork is top notch, the lettering is top. Everything on this is just iconic.
It's just everything. Yeah,
classic.
Yeah, I mean, look right the way down. I mean, you look at the top left-hand corner where he's kneeling down, picking up the head, and she's looking over his shoulder to where he's stooping and looking round the corner, and then again he's stooping over and seeing Burke and Hare, and then the evil guy down the bottom. You can see that he's the bad guy because the way the shading's done, then the way that. On the top right-hand side, he dodges the axe and then lifts his body backwards. He just shaves it backwards so he misses the axe again and shoots the guy's arms off, the android's arms off. And just everything about it, just like it flows just so well. And to do that in a tight style, that's, so damn good.
He adds to the lighting here by not putting any more detail into the hair.
They're
in Quasimodo.
Do you want some trivia?
Yeah,
I met Brian Bolland in 1984 in the Birmingham Convention with Alan Moore and all those people. And Bolland was on a panel, and I don't know why, but he mentioned that he had a dog called Kirby.
Oh, He was
we all do.
If I had a dog, I'd call it Shatner. Just saying.
Right then.
Says, always draws Dredd with skinny legs. Yep, past Master Dan.
He draws everybody with skinny legs.
Yeah, everybody's skinny.
Yeah. That's
Check out Halo Jones episode a few weeks ago. Dong. The bells, the bells.
More great tone there.
Look at that guy. Look at that
Guy's
guy.
hung.
Yeah, look at him at the bottom. Oh, good. Can I come down now?
Because they're all androids. That's the whole thing. Is they're robots instead of waxworks.
Yeah.
So that they can talk to you. Look, the guy wandering off with his head under his arm.
It's like Blade Runner, isn't it? When he goes home, that guy, little guy, who makes the toys.
Yeah.
Oh God.
This the forever crimes on the right here. That the concept is that people just before they're about to die go into these cryo tubes and they warm them up and come out for a chat every couple of years, so it extends their lives.
Well,
that's part of the story. But what's great is the way they've got these people dressed up in the because their work at the place, and there's that guy there in his suit and everything, and the girls are wandering around in like bunny outfits.
Yeah.
It's so I don't know, it's so satirical. It's brilliant.
Yeah. It fits. It fits so perfectly. So.
Yeah, I mean, nowadays if somebody drew that, the girls would be in trouser suits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the whole point of this is it's satirical.
The girl, if they did it now, the girls would be sticking the chests out and saying, "Look how gorgeous."
Well, it would be one or the other. Either it would be stupid, over sexualization, or they'd be homogenized and they'd all be in trouser suits. One or the other. But this is proper satirical storytelling. It's just a piss take. It's great.
No, I completely agree. As being the female panelist, I completely agree.
Thank you. I concur.
No, I'm not going to say that either. No. No.
Let's see.
Look at that fantastic drawing of Judge Dredd looking up there on that second panel underneath the title. How brilliant is that?
Love the sheen off of the helmet.
Yeah, and that cross on that white bit over his chin.
I just love the fact that they're looking up and brilliant.
Have you noticed we do this every week? When we get these people on, we think, "Wow, look at this!"
Yeah,
yeah.
Is that Aunt May? That
look at how black her eyes are. That's just that's.
And that shadow on Judge to the left of her as well. You can't see his face. Wow.
Yeah, because it's great, isn't it? The way he's leaning in.
Yeah.
There's so much atmosphere. I loved. Oh God, I remember this when I bloody bought the comic. The pool thing. It's on like it's not a straight pool table. It's like gravitationally developed pool table, and then he's running after that guy who tries to go down the chute, and it's just goes down into the muncher. It's just brilliant.
Look at that. And he says, "Well, at least he let me use the dress."
Yeah.
He don't care, does he?
And then look at the mixture of worlds that we've got here. They're going through file boxes. They're not sitting down at a computer checking out these files. They're looking at physical files. It's bonkers. That reminds me a little bit of the bar scene in the Batman Killing Joke. I mean that bit where
Yeah.
they're talking to the Joker before he's the Joker, and they get him to do the job, and they're sitting in that bar. It's just an exceptionally well drawn scene.
Mm-hmm.
When he's jumping in there, stopping the name of the law, it's great the way the guy who goes down the chute is running out of the door already. See him through the.
Yeah,
He's getting
I'm
away,
off.
and then you see him come through the door, and it just well, at least he'll have me as a dress.
That's great.
So
You
Mind
fool,
you,
that's no laundry chute. It's the garbage disposal.
Yeah.
I'm stuck.
What the?
The thing is, you see, if they hadn't gone down there, they got 20 years in the ISO cube, wouldn't they? So
We
it might as well be down there.
That's the kind of almost fascist aspect of this. If this was in the real world, the police would have to write out reports and like he ran away from me, he jumped in the wrong thing, I couldn't save him. Whereas the Judge Dredd is just like, oh well, never mind, I'll move on to the next thing. Yeah, I don't care if he's killed himself in the garbage chute. That's his problem. I was probably going to put him in an ISO cube for 20 years anyway.
exactly.
I don't need to write a report. I'm Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
You see, what he's doing is the ultimate policeman, and he's getting on with the job rather than writing a report.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Classic.
Yeah, I mean, he is kind of there's a Dirty Harry aspect to the character.
Oh yeah,
without a doubt, has been applied to it. Oh, and that's what he's been doing. See, he's been waking these people up and getting them to tell him where their money is and stuff, and nicking it. So gone silent.
Look at the evil there.
Taking it all in. That bike is amazing.
Yeah.
You're like,
sorry, I'm also distracted by a kitten. So
Great stuff here.
Oh, kitten. Oh.
Visors frosted over, can't see.
you see the last panel where he's ducking and firing? Look at the picture behind him with that chin and that neck. Looks like Dr. Manhattan, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, homing bullet. Oh, look at that. That's really just gone right through his head.
Taking all the glass around his head as well.
Yeah,
Yep.
and he's still talking.
They froze him up too.
Yeah, at least you won't have the satisfaction of putting me in prison. That's where you're wrong, Doctor. He's put him in one of those cryogenic
Even
things.
death is no escape from the law.
Yep.
I am the law. Brilliant.
Next is Punk's Rule, which
Just
is
before you go on that one, look at what he says there. He says, Dr. Gold didn't know, blah, blah, blah. He said, science will learn to cure the wounds, and then he'll serve the rest of his life in jail. So they're going to keep him alive for 300 years to be in jail for 70 years. Brilliant.
All of just us.
Punk's Rule. This is from number 110, 1979.
Wow.
When the punks were ruling.
Yeah.
Well, their rule was just coming to an end.
Yeah, they're just on their way out, weren't they?
Yeah.
Special
And
guest
ABBA
appearance
was still going.
ABBA
Yeah.
was still going, yeah.
Special guest appearance by Clark Kent here.
Yeah.
Look at that guy with an arrow through his head. This is outrageous.
It's an outrage.
Your breath smells awful. Gee, thanks.
headshot. Had a great headshot.
Something I've noticed about Brian Bolland's work is if you look at that hand of Judge Dredd at the bottom, and then think about the gloves that the Joker wears in Killing Joke, and he draws really nice, smooth gloves, doesn't he?
Does he?
You know, and like they're made out of material on his hand. You know.
Yeah.
Look at him, he's just got his white fronts on. Brilliant.
That guy filing his teeth. It's great.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Judge Dredd sorts them out. Come to put the garbage away. There you go.
You're under arrest.
Now, would you like a third eye to go down with those filed teeth? They say it helps you to see the future. They ain't gonna have no future with a third eye. They surrender. This is great. There's a few little white dots here to show the city. Extra big tire tread.
Yeah.
And the garbage scow truck. That sequence was also in the magazine, just to show he had a unique gun that could shoot different bullets.
Heat seeker.
Love that smacking him under the chin and then
Yeah.
oh,
Shot. Shoots round corners.
it's just so difficult to describe that that fun you had when you first opened that page.
That's right, yeah.
You know, it's like, you know, getting the Captain Britain's or Spider-Man or this or whatever it was I was getting at the time. And that first time you opened it and went, oh, wow.
Wow.
Oof.
Oof.
Great shot.
He's going to mete out some justice.
See what he says there? He says, I hear you've been calling yourself Chief Judge, Bob. I don't like that, Bob. Makes me kind of angry, especially coming from a cheap punk like you, Bob. What are you, Bob? I'm a cheap punk. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Bob. I'm getting a little deaf. You go to the next page and you scream it out or something.
I don't
Have
know.
that again. This time a little louder.
Yeah, I'm a cheap punk. Look at the hair. God. Oh, sorry. In this particular one, he doesn't send them to the ISO cubes. He just chucks them outside the city limits.
Well, that's pretty much a death sentence. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just chucks them out into the cursed earth. There you
I think
go.
I'd rather be in the ISO cube, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
probably, yeah. Yeah, I would say so.
3 hots and a cot. It's
And
got to be better.
they're not allowed in for 10 years.
Harsh but necessary.
By which time they'll have all grown a third eye.
Yeah. Let them serve as an example. Let every man from that citizenship is a privilege, not a right. The law must be obeyed. The law will be obeyed.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Wow.
That was definitely worth flipping through. Damn, that was good.
Always fun. Yeah.
And you got
Great
John
stuff.
Wagner and Mike McMahon in the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's in Judge Dredd 2?
The law.
You've got Judge Death. Judge Dredd 3 and Judge Dredd 2. Judge Dredd 2. Oh, yeah, you got a load of Mike McMahon in there. Brilliant stuff.
You pick up the first case file book if you can find it. You'll get Carlos Esquerra, Mike McMahon, Massimo
Mahone, I think it is.
Mahon, Bellardinelli,
Yep.
Massimo,
Yeah.
Ron Turner, Ian Gibson, John Cooper, Bill Ward, Brian Bolland.
Yeah, in Judge Dredd 3, you get a lot of Ron Smith. Brilliant stuff.
Just extra great stuff, folks, if you can find it. This Titan book was printed in 1981. This edition, Titan Books, 1981, printed in Holland. First edition is June 1981. If you attend a lot of conventions, check through the Comic Retailers magazine boxes. You might actually see some square-bound Titan reprint books. And if you do, definitely pick them up. They're well worth your time. And there isn't a bad one in the lot, believe me, no matter what the subject is. And they did all sorts of different ones. Or you can get the case files. I've seen these at Barnes & Noble, available for sale. Any case file is easily accessible. It's a thick amount of stories. And the price on them is incredibly cheap. $20. $20 for that. I think they're probably up to $25 or $30 per volume now, depending upon what printing you find. And like I said, there's like at least 25 case files available here in the States.
Definitely worth getting.
Well worth it. Worth your time.
Here you go. Spambot. It says most of the case files are still available at the 2000 AD store. There you go.
Yeah. Can't recommend them enough, or any of them, any of the collections that they've done. There's 3 or 4 at least of Rogue Trooper. There's a couple of Robo Hunters, Nemesis. Again, well worth your time. And they're all nice and thick. You usually get a complete run, or at least a couple years worth of the story per book.
Always a good read.
Always.
Yeah.
And not a slow one either. You'll sit there for a few hours and go through this stuff. It's all incredible, and the stories in them are top notch. So you won't regret it. Take a look for that. Anyway, this Friday, what are we doing? Charlie's War, number 2. Is this Friday? On Comics by Night. And I think we're going to stay with Titan reprint books next Sunday. I'm thinking of doing, big reach, something very unusual. Nemesis.
Oh,
Nemesis. Wow, that stuff. O'Neill is unique.
Sunday here for Nemesis, and Friday morning for Charlie's War. If you haven't seen either one of these properties, they're absolutely incredible for completely different reasons. Completely different art styles, and it's all just incredibly beautiful work. So stop back by Comics by Night. We're at 5 a.m. on Fridays, or Sunday Funnies here again at 9 a.m. Eastern time on Sundays. So swing back by then. There's a lot more of this to come, and we are archived as well over at the Comic Book Black Belt YouTube channel, the Randy Zim YouTube channel, and especially the Indie Comics Network YouTube channel. Go over on all of those platforms, like and subscribe, folks. We can use all the algorithm we can get our hands on.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody's wondering who Pat Mills was and how good he is, notice how he's either created or co-created Charlie's War, Nemesis, Dredd, lots and lots of stuff.
Yep.
Yep.
He's very good.
Can't recommend them highly enough, folks.
Nope.
Just can't. Just great stuff. Top-notch material by best of the best. So check them out if you can. And again, you don't have to put up with if the modern comics don't suit you or not to your liking, go back and read the stuff you remember that you loved.
Yeah.
Especially if you still have it. If not, then dig it up and enjoy it. There's so much great comic material available out there that and a lot of it's just being neglected and ignored. And you need to go out there and take a look at this stuff because it's great. It's beautiful, fantastic material. We deeply appreciate you stopping by. And we know the majority of our hits are after the fact, and we love that too. We hope that we're helping your workday go by faster, or you're helping you get work done, and that we're inspiring you if you work in this industry to some of these great artists and works that you may not have seen before. We're very happy to bring these to you. We don't get any money for this. We're not here begging. We're not selling stuff. We don't have a sponsor that we have to stop for. We just ask that you stop by our websites every once in a while, or you stop by the Indie Comics Network and watch some of the older shows and, just kick back and enjoy it. We hope you enjoy it as much as we love bringing it to you. We're very glad that you're here. Don't be afraid to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you can. Bell for notifications. We're here every Friday morning and every Sunday morning showing off stuff like this because we love it. And we're glad you're here. Allison, tell folks how they can find you.
Well, you can find me right here on the Indie Comics Network on Fridays and with these wonderful gentlemen on Sundays. I do arting with the Alley Cat on Friday, and it's usually 1 to 2 hours of me drawing something and talking about nothing at the same time. And you might get to see my cats, because, cats. And the lovely ones. And I'm hoping to have a Kickstarter going off at the beginning of October. I'll be talking about that more later.
Great. Russ, tell folks how they can find you.
Yeah, you can find me at russleach.com. Sign up for the email list there. I've got some original artwork here. There you go. This is stuff that we're doing at the moment. There you go. All original. No AI involved. Where's the beastie? The beastie out. Oh, I can't find it. He's here somewhere. Anyway, we got all this stuff going on. There you go. Rawr. For the Atlantean, the first issue will be available as a crowdfunder end of this month, end of September. We're very close to finishing on that. We're doing quite well on that. So find out more about that. Find out when the crowdfunder will start over at my website, russleach.com. Sign up for the email list so that you can find out all about my and Randy's creation. There you go.
All right. Glenn, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me on this program, certainly with Randy, usually with Russ on Fridays and Sunday, but mainly get my stuff from Amazon. It's all on there. You go to Fund My Comic. I've got some piece, my hatches on there. If you want to check that out, this contains lots of artwork, published and unpublished, and how he got to be. But mainly go to Amazon. I've got 12 books on there, varying subjects, and just put my name in Google and you'll find something.
There you go.
And if it's bad, it wasn't me.
And folks, I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find the majority of my work over at aerocomics.store. You can find some great books like The Fool, which is a great urban vigilante story with a little bit of comedy. Hero Bot Zero, which is a book I do primarily by myself. That's a 3-foot-tall giant robot fighting large monsters. Paragon, which is a great superhero story with a fun twist at the end that I hope you get a chance to read. Coming soon, there's a lot more books on the way. We've got a 3rd issue of Revolt that'll be available only digitally for a little while. Copies of Alice in Chains are also available over there. That's kind of a horrific nightmare of a story of a young lady who breaks her way out of a test tube and escapes the lab that she's in after she finds out she can shoot giant chains with hooks out of the palms of her hand. So it's a love story. Yeah. Calico of Shard is also available there. That's a fantasy property I developed with Michael Lanning, a fun artwork group of odd fantasy type characters all trying to put their world back together again. A lot of fun. And over at aerocomics.store, for as long as they last, you can find copies of the Shadow Kingdom as well. The overruns that we did on the campaign are available. There's probably a half a dozen left. So if you want one, you need to go over to aerocomics.store and pick that up and get that. We're incredibly proud of that work and can't recommend it to you enough. It is a faithful adaptation of Robert E. Howard's first sword and sorcery story, featuring Cull and Brule, and we tried to stay as faithful to the work as we possibly could. We think we pulled it off really well. So, and then, like Russ said, the Atlantean will be available next month for the campaign, or that at the end of this month at fundmycomic.com. There we are.
Ooh,
Yeah.
It's kind of stuff you're looking at.
criticalblast.com also has it available, and if you have a local bookstore, especially a hometown bookstore that deals with the Ingram ordering system, you can order the book through them, and we ask that you do that in order to help them out as well as us. So go over there and take a look. criticalblast.com, aerocomics.store, Amazon, barnesandnoble.com, all have it. So,
and you can pick up a black and white copy for 70 odd pages for $9.99. That's dollars. So it's very, very reasonable.
It's not the entire experience that you'd have with this book, but it is the main story. Yes.
If you wanted to do just that, so there's a bit, but the hardback is the thing to have, I think.
Oh yeah, that hardback's real pretty. Folks, again, deeply appreciate you being here. Thanks for being in the chat. Hope you come back next week. Hope you tell your friends. Let them know that this stuff is around, archived again. Comic Book Black Belt YouTube channel, Randy Zim YouTube channel, and I don't have enough subscribers, so go over there and please subscribe. And the Indie Comics Network, they don't have, all of us don't have enough subscribers.
That's right. We definitely all need more subscribers.
Wherever you're watching this at, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell for notifications, or visit all three and subscribe. Lots more stuff on the way, folks. Lots more stuff coming up to the Aero Comics store. And we also ask that you swing by fundmycomic.com, where you can find Hatch annotated. Glenn's books available there. The Fool, I think, is still up there and available for purchase if you want to order it through there. Fundmycomic.com, folks. They don't get enough attention or love. That is a crowdfunding platform specifically designed to sell comic properties and genre type properties like that on an equal opportunity basis. No shadow banning, no preferential treatment. It's all on how the books are being looked at and bought, and their preference. You can even, if there's a creator there that you want to promote, you can even contribute just $1 or $2 that'll bump them up, perhaps even to the front page, in order for them to get exposure. But take a look at those campaigns over there. There's some great books there just begging for your attention. So there's all sorts of fun comics out there. If there's something out there you want us to take a look at, we'll be more than happy to consider your suggestion if we haven't covered it already. Go back and look at the archives and see what's there. Buy alternative and independent comics, especially ours.
Sorry. No,
you're fine.
I'm just going to say, I should have interrupted you. Sorry. I was just going to say, aren't we up to nearly 3 years of archive now? Is it 2.5 years now?
I haven't been keeping track, but I can go back and look. Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a lot of it. It's a lot of it.
It hasn't quite been 3 years yet, because October 13th, this October is the day I went in on COVID. It'll be 3 years.
Right,
so it hasn't quite been 3 years yet. It's been about 2.5 that we've done this on a regular basis. Yeah. And folks, again, we do it because we love doing this. We love this art form. It's such a great form of communication. We hope if you're in this industry, that you get as inspired as we get from looking at this stuff, that it's the stuff that we love, folks. And again, if there's something out there you want us to take a look at, please drop us a line and we will definitely take it under advisement. Mm-hmm. So Spambot stops in and says, thank you. Good night. Good comics. Thank you, Spambot. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for being here. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Do hit that like button. There's 2 little likes to the amount of people that are watching us right now. And we do appreciate everybody watching us. Whenever you watch us, whenever you can interact with the platform, it only goes to help our algorithms. So please go do that. Just take us a second. Doesn't cost you any money. Just hit that like button. All right, folks. See you next Friday morning for more Charlie's War. Next Sunday, Nemesis the Warlock. And you don't want to miss either one of those. Great material.
Yeah.
Any last words?
Yeah. No, just make sure you turn up on Friday.
If I said enough, yeah. Buy alternative and independent comics, especially ours. Exactly.
What the baby said. Yeah.
See everybody soon. Take care.
See ya.
Bye.
Hey, everybody, we're all going to get laid.
The cops are doing their job as long as they don't be mean to people who are actually being innocent.
Joke's on you, bitch. I love this shit.
Sure.
Who's your favorite Marvel Comics hero? Mine is Superman. Remember the motto? With great power comes great responsibility.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit. Taste the honey sauce. Taste the goodness.